Hi there everybody, it's Martin Twycross here with another video short. So the question I want to answer today is, how soon after passing can spirit come through a medium? How soon after passing can spirit come through a medium? Some people will tell you that spirit has come through instantaneously. Some people will say it takes months. Some people will say it takes years. But my simple answer is, how soon can spirit come through after passing? In some circumstances, practically immediately. For myself, I did a church service in a spiritualist church here in the UK where I gave a lady one of my earliest links in the service was for her, and she came up afterwards to tell me that she'd gone outside just before the service began and took a message that her loved one had just at that moment passed. And then I think it was my second link that I began was her loved one coming through. So that was within the hour. So myself, the quickest I've brought somebody through is within the hour. I know of other mediums who've brought people through, loved ones through from spirit even quicker. So it is possible that it can happen almost instantaneously, but I must stress that that is pretty rare. So that there are a number of factors involved as to how soon somebody would come through from the spirit world, and that's what I want to talk about. And if you're thinking of having a reading with a medium as well, these are some of the factors you may need to consider. So the first factor for me is prior knowledge and openness to life after death, to mediumship. So in my experience, those who come through very quickly are those people who already have a good understanding that there is life after death. They may have been around mediums. They're aware of the fact that people can communicate from the spirit world through mediums. So that prior knowledge, that awareness, that openness to communication plays a great part. In my experience, those who are spiritualists generally communicate quicker. Mediums in particular can communicate very quickly because as mediums we've already learned to move our minds to blend with those spirit minds. And that is a technique, that is the exercise that we have to do. When we go to the spirit world to link with the mind of somebody here, it's the same scenario. We have to learn to do it. So as mediums, we've already got a head start. We're aware of the process. We know and understand the process, having been a party to it for a long time. So that prior knowledge, that prior awareness will really help. So in my own case, I went to see a medium 3 weeks after the passing of my own loved one, and they came through a medium. And they already had an understanding of mediumship, an understanding of the spirit world. They had read a lot of books by the late medium Doris Stokes, for example. So that helps to show you that the more knowledge we have, the easier it is. The second factor we have to consider is beliefs. What is their belief about life after death? If they have strong religious beliefs that communicating through a medium is bad or evil or negative, then that will severely impact how soon they come through, because it will take time for them to allow those beliefs to change, to become aware of the truth, for those beliefs to slide away. So strong religious beliefs can be a hindrance to communication, absolutely. And people who don't believe in an afterlife, if they believe that when you're dead, when they get to the spirit world, they're going to find out they're alive, there's going to be a period of adjustment. There's going to be a period of understanding that needs to take place. And again, that can delay how quickly they come through. Another example, my own father, he didn't believe in life after death. He was aware that I was a medium. He used to tell me I'm wasting my time with all of that because when you're dead, you're dead. And it took him over 2 years before he came back through a medium. Such was the strength of his belief that, he didn't believe in the afterlife, he didn't believe in mediumship. So there's another example we can see. So it's the more people have an understanding, the easier it is. If they have strong religious beliefs or don't believe in an afterlife, there's going to be a period of change, a period of adjustment necessary. The next thing we have to consider is their nature of passing. People who generally have a slow decline, people who have a gentle passing, a gradual decline in passing, it's generally easier for them to communicate through a medium than somebody who's taken suddenly in an instant, or someone who has a particularly traumatic passing, people who pass in accidents, or even somebody who takes their own life. With a more traumatic or sudden passing, there will be a greater period of adjustment needed. So they'll often have a period of healing as well to help them with that transition. So the nature of passing we have to look at as a factor as well. If someone's passed very suddenly or very traumatically, then generally it's better to leave it for some time before trying to make contact through a medium. Then we also have their desire to communicate. We have to understand that everybody has free will and choice. You may wish someone to come forward to communicate with you, but they may not have the same desire or interest. We have to understand that and accept that. And to communicate from the spirit world with a medium, it's kind of the reverse of doing mediumship here. As mediums, we have to learn to blend with the spirit world and blend with the mind of those in spirit. It's the reverse from the spirit world. You have to learn to blend with the mind of the medium here and to hold that link with the medium. So there is some degree of learning, some degree of process that has to be understood and learned. And, they have to be motivated to want to do that. Sure, they will be given a lot of help to do that from the spirit world. There'll be guides and helpers who will coach them, guide them, help them in that process. They don't have to do it by themselves. They'll get a lot of instruction and guidance. But ultimately, there has to be a willingness to communicate. There has to be a desire and a motivation to do so, to be willing to learn that process. So the more someone is willing to communicate, the easier it will be. If there was a difficult relationship between you and that person, then they may not necessarily know how they're going to be taken here. If they're a bit unsure about how you'll react to them, again, that may make them step back a little bit and take their time. Whereas if someone you had a wonderful relationship and you miss them and they miss you greatly, that's a huge motivation to connect. And for most people in that scenario, their loved one will want to connect. Their loved one will want to let them know, I'm here, I'm fine, I'm well, I'm happy. I've gone somewhere, I want to let you know I arrived safely. So that is a huge motivational factor. And the last point I'd like us to think about as well is availability. Availability. We go to a medium or we go to a service, we go to a demonstration, we go to a gallery reading. We're in the presence of a medium, but the question we have to ask is our loved one we would like to hear from available? Are they available in that moment? Or do they have something else they're doing? Do they have a previous engagement? Are they available within that moment to see us? Or are they doing other things? And it may not be possible in that moment for them to come forward. There's also a whole bunch of reasons why that medium may not be the right person for you. And I will be doing another short video on that as well for you to understand that. But ultimately, because we also want to know is why does sometimes our loved ones from the spirit world not come through? And so I'm going to do another video to talk about that for you as well. But with this video, it's about the time frame. So you can see there's an availability. So the more often you're in the presence of mediums, the greater the chances you have of getting your loved one through. So I would generally recommend if the person has a very good understanding of life after death and understanding of mediumship, is very comfortable with it, then yes, we can go to a medium within a few weeks of their passing. If they don't, then it may take longer. You may be looking at a number of months, 3 months, 6 months. If the person passed tragically, if the person passed with a great deal of trauma, if the person passed suddenly, again, you'd want to generally wait, I'd say give it 3 months. But, with all these things, really, there's no hard and fast rules. You can try, but recognize that you may have to go a few times, you may have to make a few opportunities, or you may not hear the loved one you'd like to hear from, you may have somebody else come through if you go for a reading. So they are a few of the factors to consider. So I hope that helps you understand how quickly someone can come through from spirit. So we can understand that it can be as quick as instantaneously within the hour, or in some cases it may be months or even years. But don't give up, don't feel that your loved ones don't love you if they're not there for you. It's just that there are a lot of factors in the mix and we may have to just give it time and be patient. But rest assured your loved ones still care for you, they still love you, they are still thinking of you in the spirit world. So I hope you found that video helpful, I hope it's a benefit to you, and I look forward to the next one. If you found this video helpful, then do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.